Hey guys, so tonight I'm going to be making chicken lasagna. Stay right there, I'll show you how to put it together. Alright, so we're going to start with the Mornay sauce. In here I got 3 tablespoons of butter. And after this is melted, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of flour. It's going to make a roux. Roux is just equal parts of butter or oil and flour. Alright, so we got the butter melted. You want to add in 3 tablespoons of flour. With this, you want this to look like wet sand. Just like that. Maybe a little bit more flour. Alright, yeah, that's perfect right there. See how that looks like wet sand? And we want to cook this a little bit. We want to cook it until the raw flour taste has cooked out. Alright, now you want to keep stirring this pretty constantly. You don't want this to burn or go too dark. We're not making gumbo. For gumbo, you want a nice, deep, dark roux. It's called a brick roux. The longer you let it cook, the less thickening power it has. So you want this to have a pretty good thickening power, so we're just going a little bit over a blonde roux. It's about right here. Start to smell the nuttiness of the butter coming through. Gonna add in some cream. Whisk that in there. It's gonna thicken up pretty quickly. How fast that thickened up. Just dumping that in there. After this, we're going to add in some garlic powder and some mustard powder before we add the cheese. Alright, so in here I just added a teaspoon of mustard powder. Then we're going to add in the garlic powder, about a tablespoon or so. It's starting to thicken up again. Add in some more cream. And after this is all incorporated, we'll start adding the cheese. Right now what we're going to do here, we're going to take it off the heat. Going to add a little secret. It's also in my other Mornay sauce video. But you want to take it off the heat, you want to put in 1 egg yolk. You want to stir this constantly so you don't get scrambled eggs. And all this does, gives it a nice, more luxurious. Just gives it a little something extra. Okay, now we're going to slowly add in the cheese. We do 1 handful at a time off the heat. And that residual heat in there is more than enough to melt the cheese. Here I'm using Parmigiano Reggiano. Alright, Mornay sauce is done. Look at that. So at this point, normally throughout all your cooking you want to taste as you go so you can adjust the seasoning. But let's go ahead and taste this. Very good. It's creamy, it's rich. And taste the garlic coming through. Let's go ahead and start on the next component, which is the ground chicken. Alright, so we got the chicken going. What we're looking to do here is looking to get a Maillard reaction on there. Now I just said that in my ragu video. I didn't show it. So once it gets there, I will show you. And here we're just gonna add some black pepper. Turns of black pepper. And some Italian seasoning. Mix that around. Now at this point you don't want to add any salt because the Parmigiano Reggiano is very salty. Put the salt in here now, it's going to cook down and become even more salty when it gets in with the sauce. Alright, let's give this a quick toss, see where we're at. That's looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see it. See, there's some pieces that are a little bit darker than the rest. That's the Maillard reaction. All that basically means is that the sugars are in the meat are caramelizing and giving you a lot more flavor. Alright, now it's time to assemble this. We're going to take some of the Mornay sauce, layer that on the bottom. Take a lasagna noodle. Yes, I know, I'm using box pasta again. I'm sorry, Chef Ramsay, please don't come for me. Then spread that, make sure it's even and all over the bottom. These pans are slightly smaller than the sheets. Just going to press that down in there. Then take some of the chicken mix, sprinkle that on. However many layers you do, it's up to you. And take some of the cheese here. I have the mixture of mozzarella and the Parmigiano Reggiano. That, sprinkle that on there. Go back in. More sauce. Keep building those layers until you're out of sauce or you're out of chicken mix. Alright, so we got our final layer on there. And then we're going to take some of the cheese, put that right on top. And then we're going to take some tin foil, wrap that up, nice and tight. I'm going to put it in a 375-degree oven for 25 minutes. Alright, I'll see you all in 25 minutes. Okay, so after about 15 or so minutes, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to carefully, remove the foil. You want to put it back in the oven until the top gets a nice golden brown. If it doesn't get the golden brown you want before the timer runs out, you can put it under a broiler and give that nice golden crust. Right, so the timer just went off. Check this. Well, it's not quite brown yet, so we're gonna turn on the broiler. Broil, still on low. Then we just let it go until the cheese becomes nice and golden brown. Right now you want to keep a really close eye on this because it can turn really fast, it can burn really fast. Just keep a really close eye on it. Now once that's out of the oven, you want to let it sit there for about 10-15 minutes so everything can come together. If you dish it up now, everything's going to run all over. You can do that if you want, but it's a better presentation if you wait just a little bit more. Alright, let's take this out. It doesn't look like it's browning all over. Look at that. And that is how you make chicken lasagna. If you like this video, click like, don't forget to share. Make sure and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell, and I'll see you next time.